Hey YouTube, what is going on? It is Tuesday night and we're going to try and find some people on Phantasy Star Online. So, as you all know, I do not use the disc anymore. I use the USB GD-ROM. So let's fire it up and see who is online tonight. Now, it is an off game night, and I haven't really confirmed with anybody if they're available, but let's just double check on Dreamcast Now and see if anybody is logging in. Okay, first things first, find the game. Hey, what's going on? And here we go, Eve's PSO version 2. And let's fire up this steam whistle. Now the thing about Dreamcast Now is that not everybody is registered, so even though it might appear that there's nobody playing, the people that are playing with the BBA, like myself, they do not show up online. So that is the only disadvantage, unfortunately. But you never know. Hopefully we'll be able to find Kuro. Hopefully some of the newer players that are on there will be available as well. It's just the luck of the draw. Well, the disc case is on the shelf. I will break it out next time. Yeah, I miss holding up the disc case as well. There is something about the USB GD-ROM that, you know, as functional as it is and as reliable as it is, I still kind of have that sort of, I don't know, that sort of desire to play it on the disc again with all of its sort of like issues that it had. You know, the game itself is fine, but you know, sometimes the Dreamcast would choke on it in mid-game and it would crash, and sometimes it wouldn't connect properly and all that kind of fun stuff. So you could just never quite tell what was going to happen when you're playing with the disc. All right, so select ship 0 0 0 0. All right, that doesn't mean much. So let's start off in block 1, and maybe we can hustle up some other players. So I really wanted to play on Saturday when it was the Dreamcast's 18th birthday, but unfortunately I got a little bit distracted. And join team, no teams available, of course, because I'm the only one here. Create team, PSO version 2. UGB, and then I'll put choice search or message me. There we go. Just in case somebody wants to play and maybe they aren't able to play in ultimate mode, they can kind of message me. Maybe I can jump out if I need to. Yeah, actually, I was using the DreamPi for Toy Racer. Toy Racer actually doesn't work with the BBA. It only works with the DreamPi, and if you watch that video, you noticed I had quite a few issues with it, mostly with the line voltage inducer. So, you know, thankfully PC Wizard was aware of it before I even messaged them, and they got back to me right away, and we're talking about some of the faults that might have happened in it, and we decided that maybe what we'll do is he's going to send me a new one, and I'm just going to send him the old one back, and he's going to look over it and see if there's anything that happened in it that you know, if there's any fault in it that could have been corrected, and maybe he can make sure it doesn't happen to anybody else's. So, you know, he's a good guy. He's pretty reliable. So I trust that whatever he's going to do, it's going to be, you know, I think he's probably feeling pretty bad that the thing was failing live, but you know, it's not his fault. These things happen. I've made tons of things that, you know, don't, like, you know, you're making all these things by hand. Make quite a few of them. Not all of them are gonna be 100%, right? So fortunately, we're a pretty tight group here on the Dreamcast community, and we're always looking out for each other. All right, let's get rid of. Let's use some of this stuff, and maybe I'll hold on to that and give that to somebody else in case they need it. Maybe somebody else can use that as well. But on the plus side, I was able to connect up my old line voltage inducer, and it worked quite well. So, all right, get rid of that. Get rid of that. We'll hold on to our Heaven Punisher, and we'll hold on to our Yasminkov. Anything else we need to get rid of? No, we'll hold on to that Escape Doll. We'll deposit some of that Meseta. I don't know why. Deposit. Oh, you have no Meseta. Okay, so all of that stuff is take Meseta. Now all that stuff is in the bank. So we don't want to take any of that out. We do not need it. Okay, what time do we have anyway? 1:10. All right, it's gonna be a little while before we can use the Punisher. Oh wow, only 66,000 until I'm at my next level up. That's pretty good actually. Okay. And here we go, and nipples, sure. Let's see who's kicking around in the forest. Maybe we can get some cool items in the interim. So right now I'm still using that S-rank weapon that Kuroheim hooked me up with. And I guess it's probably not in the best interest to use the special attack, because apparently there's a chance that it could kill myself, which is, I hope just not uttering those words is going to trigger some sort of like YouTube bot to go and demonetize this video. But anyways, it'd be pretty catastrophic from what I understand. Okay, so let's do that, and let's just see. Oh, it gave them 500 HP. Nice. So I guess that's like a randomized attack. Like you're never quite sure what's going to happen. Okay, so there you go. Freezes them, but we can do that with traps anyway, so it's not the most exciting thing. It does hit for quite a bit, given the fact it's not really augmented in any way, other than the fact that I've added quite a few grinders to it. So it's at, I think, what, 31 plus 31 by now, so it's not too bad. According to Kuroheim, it can go up to 99. But once we get, this is already, I can already tell like the accuracy on this weapon is quite good because I haven't missed a shot yet. Okay, let's see what happens with this special attack. Boom, boom, boom. We give them all 500 XP. 500 HP rather. Cool. Wow, I hit for quite a bit during that time too. Zero, come on. Alright, so let's see what's going on here. Maybe using that special attack killed my... Why am I hitting for zero all of a sudden? Bizarre. Okay, here we go. I'm really gonna have to do some research on this weapon. Maybe if I'm using the special attack somehow, it kind of gives me different attack points. I'm not 100% sure. I'm gonna have to look into that. Yeah, Bomberman would be great to play online. I've got a copy of that, and I have played the Dreamcast version offline, and it's still quite a bit of fun offline, but to play it online would be fantastic. But it's kind of at the discretion of whoever's maintaining these servers right now. At the moment, the guy that's doing it, he's, I think he's... Now, I heard through the pipes something about Unreal. There's something going in the chat on Dreamcast Live about Unreal Tournament possibly going live, so that would be really cool. I used to play Unreal quite a bit when I was younger, in college particularly, just on the local multiplayer. It wasn't online or anything like that, but we played all the time, just with the network that we had in our. I had a house with 6 roommates, I think it was. It was like a 4-bedroom house, and we converted the basement into a separate room, and yeah, we had quite a few folks in there, and quite an impressive network for the day. It was a lot of fun. Cool, TriMate. I think I should probably add something to my... I should probably feed my mag too when I have a chance. I keep neglecting it. Okay, cool. Tag that guy. Maybe he'll drop something interesting. So the interesting thing about this S-rank weapon is it really seems to have boosted my defense as well, because even though some of these monsters are taking a little bit of points off of me, like for the most part I'm really able to sustain the damage with pretty much no ill effect. So not sure what that's about exactly. I'm sure if I Google it quickly I'll find something pretty interesting about... Oh, I think they're paralyzed? Cool. 0, 0, 0. 0, 0, 0. And 0, 0, 0. Okay, so apparently using this special attack neutralizes my heavy attack. Interesting. Wonder when it comes back. Wonder if I keep using my special attack, if it eventually... Right now they're paralyzed. Wonder if I have to wait for it to charge up or something? Again, not 100% familiar with this weapon. It is pretty cool, but it does have quite a few quirks to it. Come on. 0, 0, 0, 0. And one shot and we're dead. Fortunately, we had that escape doll. Alright. Let's equip that again and find out what is going on here. Alright, so there seems to be some sort of... Okay, I'm going to switch weapons and see if that has any, makes any difference. Pretty confident it will, but until I figure out exactly what's going... No, I guess not. 0, 0, 0. Okay, cool. Must be... Okay. I think I need to... Didn't need to use that, but I needed to get out of that splash screen quick. Okay, I gotta somehow shake this. Alright, let's go back. It appears as what's happened is... I can't remember the word that they keep using, but apparently some attack either by my weapon or from a hit I took from one of these guys here, it has neutralized my attack. So let's just go back. Actually, why are we going all the way back here? Let's use a telepipe. Let's use a telepipe and go back to Pioneer real quick. Item. So we've got so many telepipes. And what we'll do is we'll just go to the we'll go to the we'll go to the bank, we'll drop off some stuff, then we'll try and I guess we don't really need to go restore our health or anything like that, but okay, deposit. No, we don't need to deposit any items. Yeah, it seems like I boosted their attack and defense, but it looks like I also reduced mine. Now, Kuro did say that that was a possibility with this weapon, so... And completely fine. Cool. Alright, let's go back. Maybe that has solved it. So I guess what would happen is I just gotta cycle through the special attack until it kind of undoes whatever I did to increase their defense and reduce my attack. Okay, let's go back and take care of these guys once and for all. Yep, that was definitely it. Thanks, Richie Rich. Okay, so let's hold back here. So I guess what you're supposed to do in that situation is just cycle through the special attack until it fixes itself again. Again, I'm not using the official terms for this game, so I'm sure there's a few people out there that are being driven mad by how I'm trying to describe what's actually happening in the gameplay right now. Okay, cool. So we took that guy out. And anything we can use? Not really, but I guess we could sell it if we need to, so I might grab a few of these things. Yeah, it's a very strange weapon indeed. I've never used an S-rank weapon, but it seems like it's quite volatile. Okay, let's take these guys out. Okay, we froze them. And... oh, cool! Kuroheim's joining. Nice. Sweet. We've got a second player. Alright, so they are confused now as well. So what we're going to do is after we take these guys out, let's go back to Pioneer, touch base with Kuro, and see what we want to do for a game. Sweet, we got some power material. Did we pick that up or did we just walk past it? No, we picked it up. Alright, let's go say hello to Kuroheim and see if we can get ourselves a quest started. Sweet. Okay. Item pack. Item. Use a telepipe. Sweet. And while we're in Pioneer and touching base with Kuroheim, there's something that I definitely want to show you guys. Okay, let's find out what Kuroheim wants to do tonight. Feel like a quest. Sweet. Oh, cool, a new Yasminkov. Let's check that one out. Item pack. Equip. Now, is this the double weapon? Oh, shit. Or is this... no, this is the one that I gave him before, isn't it? Cool. Well, we'll keep that in the kitty. I'm only a few XP away from a level up, so anything is cool with me. Let's anything you might suggest? Dun, 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 dun. Okay, so while Kiroheim is getting set up, I want to show you guys something really cool. Yeah, sure, why not? Sure, let's do it. Alright, so let's go to the guild. I'll meet you in the guild. Oh, okay, cool, they're ready to go. Alright, maybe they'll meet me in the guild. So let's go this way. So Lost Heat Sword is like a pretty basic quest, but it's always a lot of fun. What's the missing maracas? Actually, let's get out of here and ask what that is first. What is the missing maracas all about? And for you non-Canadian people there, I bet you love the fact that I said about. Go around looking for something. Is it any good? Want to. Requires 2 people to complete. Alright. Give it a shot. Okay. No prob. Let's stick to the heat sword. Okay, so let's set up the heat sword quest. Retrieval, heat sword. Yes. Okay, while we're doing that, I just want to show you guys something really, really cool. So, I got something today that I've been looking at for a while, and it took quite some time to get in because I ordered it in May. And I was starting to think it wouldn't arrive, but it was another AliExpress thing. And with AliExpress, typically everything arrives, but it takes a long time, which is why they are able to add free shipping to a lot of things. So what I ended up getting was something that I've seen online from a few people, and it's been discontinued for the most part. Now you can still find a couple people selling this model, but not with what makes the model I have sort of a little bit more coveted. So what I'm talking about is this right here. It is called the GB Boy Color. Now some of you might have seen this. It's a Game Boy Color clone, and what makes it so cool is that it will play Game Boy games, Game Boy DX games, Game Boy Color games. It will also it's also region free. It'll play Japanese games, and it actually has, if you look in here, it says 66 in 1. It has 66 preloaded games, and not all of them are crap. It has things like Contra, Dr. Mario, stuff like that. And what it looks like is an old Game Boy Color. Now I got the translucent green model, and it actually feels really good. It feels really durable. You'll notice that instead of Game Boy, it says very clearly under there, GB Boy Color. And on the back it has the serial to it. But it's very similar to a Game Boy Color. Let me just break one out real quick. So this is a Game Boy Color. This is the turquoise one. And if you look at them side by side, they are very similar. This one here is a bit bigger, but nearly identical in terms of design. So the cool thing about it is with this Game Boy Color, as you all know, the original Game Boy Color was not backlit. This one is. So I'm going to show you really quick what it looks like. So let's play, for instance, Legend of Zelda DX. Pop it in like a regular Game Boy game. Load it up like this. Right? And hopefully there's not too much of a glare. Which I think is glaring just a little bit too much. Here, let me try that again. So it loads up with the splash screen, Game Boy Color. Here we go. And there you are. That is Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening DX. Yeah, it's super cool. It plays all types of Game Boy games, Game Boy Color games, everything. I'm really impressed with it. It handles really well. It feels really well. Sorry, I'm back. Guess I gotta let Kuro know why I was kind of AFK for a while. Yeah, it's really impressive. I'm really happy with it so far. It feels really cool. The buttons are really responsive. It feels really rugged and durable, like surprisingly so. Generally you buy these things and they feel like crap. And whatever emulation hardware they're using, well, they're using hardware, they're not using emulation, but they must be using some form of emulation software to play the built-in games. But whatever they're using, it's fantastic. The brightness on the screen is perfect. It's not too bright. It would be nice if you can... I don't think there's a contrast button on here. No, because there never was a contrast button on the original Game Boy Color either. But yeah, really impressive little device. And it was only $50 Canadian, actually $48 Canadian shipped. Now, from what I understand, they've recently discontinued this particular model only because I guess they were getting a bit of flack for having all of those pirated built-in games. So what ended up happening was they have released the Game Boy or GB Boy Color. It's still available on Alibaba for the same price, but I don't think they're releasing it now with the preloaded games. And what that looks like is it's pretty standard. It just looks like a regular sort of text scroll screen, and on it you can just select whatever game you want. And it is subject to, like, you know, a lot of these things that offer free games, they'll have a couple of legit ROMs on there, and then they'll have a couple of these sort of like knockoff, not quite official games. Like they'll be kind of clones of other games. Most of them are puzzle-based games, but overall it has some pretty good stuff on it. Like, I mean, you can play Dr. Mario, you can play Contra, you can play Tetris, you know, all those kind of classic ones that you don't necessarily need to bring with you on the road. It would have been nice if they added something like one of the Legend of Zelda games or Final Fantasy games or something like that, but again, don't need to be too greedy because I have quite a few of those games already. But nonetheless, really impressed with that little device. That said, I ordered it in May and it just arrived. So I don't know if I would suggest that seller if you need it quickly, but you know, at least it arrived, so I'll give them credit for that. If you found one at a yard sale for $2, I am quite envious. I think there's quite a few, to my knowledge, like knockoff style Game Boys, but the GB Color, it was something I can't remember what YouTube channel I was watching where I saw them bring it up, but I was doing a bit of research on it, and it looks like it's being manufactured by this company called Kongfeng in China. And from what I understand, it sold quite well in its first run, but went out of print for a little while, and then in the second run, fortunately, probably due to some pressure from Nintendo, they were forced to remove all of the built-in ROMs. But overall, you know, I'm really impressed if you can find one with the built-in ROMs, because I think they make one with 128 ROMs as well. And I'm not sure if that one's available. I think I saw it on Amazon maybe, but it was quite expensive. Certainly more than it's worth, especially considering like I haven't tried that version, but I can only assume it's got quite a bit of shovelware, quite a bit of games on there that are just sort of piratey clones or very similar to each other. Probably a lot of similar Tetris-based games and things of that nature, you know? But, you know, just to kind of bulk it up and stuff. But this one, you know, I was impressed. It had, like, a lot of official games on it and stuff, so... And it is something that I would totally bring on the road with me. It eats 2 AA batteries, which is kind of a bit archaic nowadays. It'd be nice if everything was just like a USB charged lithium-ion battery, but you know, it can't get too greedy. It is what it is. Okay, let's take these guys out. I think Kiroheim is kind of holding back a bit so that way I can get the XP. That being said, they're not too far away from a decent little jump in XP themselves as far as I understand. I think they said they're about 1 million away, but I think they said it was 2 million per level up after 190, so you know, halfway there. Alright, bang, bang, bang. Wow, whatever tech that Kiroheim is using is really helping me out. Okay, where did they go? Did they go back? Yeah, they went back. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. And I think we're going to hit start and just see exactly where we are in terms of our XP. And let's also take this opportunity to feed our mag. Now I heard Monomate is probably good for it at this level. Star Atomizer definitely. Okay, good enough. And items, evade material, yes. Power material, yes. And where did our friend Kuro go? Probably over here somewhere. I think this is the way we're headed. Yep, it is. Okay, cool. I'm just going to double check on the map. Just to, oh, I can see them from there, so perfect. The good thing about those was once you're powerful enough, the things that drop the mosquitoes, you let them kind of, if you let it kind of sit there and release quite a few, you can get quite a bit of XP quite quickly, because I think they each have about 250, possibly 300 XP per mosquito, and they're pretty easy to take out, so. Okay, we don't need that. Okay, speaking of which, here we go. Boom, boom, boom. How much was that? Like 140? That doesn't sound right. That's probably accurate. Yeah, I'm a big fan of the original. I like the big chunky Game Boy just for the way it feels. Like, it reminds me of my childhood. I can remember playing that when it first came out. Now, I never owned one as a kid, but I had friends that had them back in the day, and I put quite a number of hours into playing, like, just basically Super Mario World, or Super Mario Land rather. And yeah, it's a real fun game. Even to now, it's a real fun game. I have a copy of Super Mario Deluxe on Game Boy Color, which is also a fun little cart to have. Oh, looks like we're having a bit of an issue with lag because Kiroheim kind of busted in front of me. But I think overall, you know, most people will agree that if you're going to play original Game Boy, the best console to have on hand is probably a Game Boy Advance SP. I have 2 of those right now. The Game Boy Advance SP AGS 101 model in particular. It has a brighter screen, that's pretty much it. Otherwise, functionally, it's still pretty much the same. But the screen on it is really crisp, really bright, fantastic. They go for quite a bit on the used market. People are just wise to it. But occasionally you can get lucky and find one out in the wild. I've found 3 since I've really actively started looking for them. And each one cost me between $2 and $7, I think. So nothing that's going to break the bank. I did sell one at one point. Actually, I traded it in for a copy of Spawn in the Demon's Hand on Dreamcast. But, you know, I also had another one as well. So it wasn't really like I was giving away my only version of it. It was just one of those things where like, I had 2 and I really wanted that game. And you know, I don't know why I wanted that game. It's not that great. It's okay. It's a fun like little arcade style game, but I think it's a little bit overrated. Kind of wants to be like, what would be a good description of it? It's a beat 'em up style game. I think it's something in the lines of like maybe Power Stone to some degree, although Power Stone is really fun. I don't necessarily like Power Stone 2 as much, but I do enjoy Power Stone 1. It's particularly fun if you can find a partner to play with, but it's got some really cool gameplay features and feels pretty much like an arcade port, like as close to an arcade port as you can get. But Power Stone 2, I found it to be a little bit slow and clunky, to be quite honest. I don't know how else to describe it. It didn't feel quite right. It didn't feel like there was any lag, but it definitely felt as though the characters didn't move as quickly as they did in Power Stone 1. Both are games that are, you know, I think they've pretty much plateaued in terms of the price they're commanding, but you just never know with Dreamcast. Sometimes you wait on things like a month and then they're twice as much as they were the month before. I did get lucky on an auction recently, and even though I'm kind of holding back on buying a lot of Dreamcast games, there was one that I just sort of ran into and I buy it now, and I was like, you know, the price is great, I'm not going to say no to it. And it was a copy of Red Dog, which generally runs around $50 plus shipping, and this one was $25 complete, like new, for I think it was $26 Canadian. So definitely not that much. I was like, you know what, for what it's worth, I got lots of money in the PayPal bank, let's just do it, get it. And I did, so hopefully it arrives sometime this week. That'd be nice. I played Red Dog. I haven't played it on disc, but I have played the rip of it, and it's a lot of fun. It reminds me a little bit of what's a good way to describe it? You're basically a tank and you run around killing things. For some reason, it reminds me of parts of Red Faction, to be honest. I don't know why. Like Gorilla, it kind of reminds me of that. But definitely on like a lower res type scale. Still a lot of fun. It's a really quick game. It's one of those games that has like really solid handling, so anything that happens in it and you make some mistakes, you know it's your fault. You can't blame the game. The game handles really well. The engine's really tight, so sorry, it's all on you if you screw up. Yeah, and a Nintendo DS Lite, that was actually what I started using for the longest time for GBA games. The only thing I didn't like about the DS Lite for GBA games is that the screen resolution for the DS wasn't quite accurate to the dimensions of the GBA. So it was a little bit smaller if you wanted it to have the proper unstressed resolution. And I was never a really big fan of hitting, because you know if you hit your R trigger, it will stretch the picture to fit this fill of the screen, which is a great little added feature that they've put on it. But that stretched look I'm not a huge fan of. I kind of like it when it has the proper aspect ratio. And if you want to play with the proper aspect ratio, unfortunately you're playing on a much smaller, like the dimensions are much smaller on the screen surface. The screen is still pretty large, but the way that the game is presented is quite small. So I'm not a big fan of that. But it is quite handy, especially if you play a lot of DS Lite games. Like I got into the DS Lite basically like, oh, it was really disappointing. I think I got into the DS Lite maybe like 2 weeks before they ended up closing down the online support for DS games. I was really disappointed because I just got a copy of Mario Kart DS and I was like, oh cool, I can play it online. And then it was announced, oh yeah, they've killed support for it. So I was like, oh, can't win for trying. But still, it has a ton of great games just to play solo. And I actually like using my DS Lite for playing DS games a lot more than I like playing DS games on the 3DS XL. And that's just because like the resolution on the DS games is much smaller. I don't know what it is exactly, but oh, sorry, could not contribute. I should have done that. Damn. Sorry, I missed it. But anyways, yeah, if you play it on a 3DS XL, it plays quite well, and quite frankly, it's better than keeping two consoles on you at the same time, considering the one console will do the job of both. But you definitely see a lot of different kind of like pixelizations and stuff, and you can tell the blockiness of the resolution. It doesn't look as smooth as it would using the original DS. Just having that smaller screen hides a lot of imperfections. So, that said, oh, you gotta go, buddy. I still play the majority of my DS games that I find on the 3DS XL, and again, it just all kind of boils down to convenience. Like, there's no point in me keeping two different consoles on me that when one can do the same job, even though I like the one console better. I do have a just normal 3DS, which has the same proportions as a DS, more or less. It's I think a little bit bigger maybe. And I actually like the feel of the original 3DS a lot more than the XL. But for whatever reason, actually I shouldn't say for whatever reason, I play the majority of the games that I have on my XL simply because my Nintendo account is associated with my XL, and I don't really feel like changing it over. So that's pretty much it. Like, I can't play any of the games that I've downloaded, even though I don't play them that much on my 3DS, my just sort of vanilla 3DS. But the danger of wandering off leads you to getting picked off. Wise words. Alright, let's warp. But now that I think about it, actually, you guys got me thinking. Maybe I will just switch over. Because the other thing about the XL is it doesn't quite feel right in my hands. I don't know what it is about it. Probably still the same thing that's preventing me from getting the new 2DS XL. But I really like the way the original DS feels, and it's the perfect size for me. Basically, like it just it feels really rugged, but the size of the screen and stuff like that isn't too overwhelming. I think with the 3DS XL, the problem I've always had is that since the screen is so big, and you kind of, if you want the 3D effect in particular, you have to hold that screen fairly close to your face, like within about, 12 to 18 inches to get the 3D effect to respond properly. And because of that, it's really bright, and I just noticed that. Oh, sorry, let me just close this. Norton wants to update, of course. So it's probably going to cause everything to lag. Let's just kill, disable smart firewall. Kill Norton for a little bit. Please, everybody out there in YouTube world, don't hack me. There we go. Perfect. Yeah, I think it's probably the superior system. Now the 3D rather effect on it is not that great. Like the XL, the new 3DS XL is much better, but I rarely use the 3D effect. Like there's very few games, and typically I'll use it very sparingly. I'll like use it when I first start a game just to see what the effect is like, and then after that I typically don't use it at all. Oh no, I didn't mean to do that. Okay, cool. At least we're tagging it. Okay, what are we using here? Oh, just gonna heal us. Ah, jeez. Come on. Why do you always use that guy, Bill? It's because I never really look at which one I'm using. I just kind of hit it and hope for the best. Ah, jeez. Alright, so we gotta get out of the way. What's the best strategy here? So we stay out. Okay, cool. We stay this way so we don't freeze. And like Kuroheim said, stay close. And I'm gonna follow their lead. Alright, where is the dragon going? Oh, they had the timing perfect. Oh well, c'est la vie. Alright, here we go. And tagging, and we're done. Cool. Sweet. Yeah, for sure. You can join us whenever you want. Still Dragon killed. Are you able to play Ultimate? Because I think we're probably going to want to play in the Ultimate mode if that's possible. Definitely like to. Indeed. Definitely like to play Ultimate where I can, but maybe I can play a couple more games with Kuroheim and then jump into another game if you're up for it. I'm going to run it by Kuroheim, just let them know there's somebody else in the chat that wants to play. Good thing about Kuroheim is they're typically pretty cool about playing levels that are not Ultimate to help other people out, because I think Kuroheim really likes to have other players that they can play with in Ultimate mode, and sometimes it gets a little bit slim pickings here. Okay, cool. So let's go back. Cool, yeah, for sure. I'll let Kuroheim know that we got another player. We have another player who wants to join us. Okay, so let's go to the guild. Thanks for taking care of Hopkins. My item, this is great. Wow. Thank you very much. You're great. Please get your reward at the counter. This is all I can do to show my appreciation. Sweet. Alright, let's find out what Kuroheim is before we get out of here. I'll just tell them that I'm going to meet you in the lobby. Okay, sweet. Oh, nice. We got 28 photon points. Should probably upgrade one of our other weapons soon, too. Oh, holy smokes. We got a whole ton of people. Wow. Okay, so Hey, hey, we have a full house. Awesome. All right. Did you want to start a team, Kuro? Maybe what I'll do is I'll jump in if Kuroheim wants to start a team. And RX0, who are they? I think they're a GameCube player. Sounds good. All right, sweet. Okay. Team UGB. Nope, we're following Kuro. Awesome. All right, so while we're following Kuro, let me just show you real quick what I was talking about. So this is what happens when you take the game out. All you do is you just turn it on, like so, and it'll go through the splash screen, like this. And there you go. Like, it just has a whole list of different games that you can play, and you can slide through the different menus and all that kind of stuff. And let's just quickly, let's just click on Contra just for fun, just to show you what it looks like. So sorry about the glare. I got the light shining right at it. So yeah, it's just the original Contra port for Game Boy. Let's start and go. And yeah, it plays perfectly. It's great. I am thoroughly impressed with this little device. And the sound actually is really crisp. That was another thing that I didn't expect. Whatever emulation hardware that they're using for the games that they have saved on it, the sound emulation is it's really crisp and really loud. But when you turn up the volume on the potentiometer wheel, you know, like sometimes if you get to around number 8 or so on the potentiometer, it'll start to get crunchy. This one sounds pretty good the whole time. Like, you can crank it right up to 10, and it sounds loud, but it doesn't sound like bad. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't sound distorted or anything like that. So again, pretty impressed with this little thing. All right, items. Anything that we can use. We've got lots of traps. Seta. What time is it anyway? Ooh, 1:42. So we can use the Heaven Punisher soon. Okay, so let's follow Kuro to the caves. Do a bit of searching here, see if we can find anything cool. Caves we go. So just curious right now, for anybody that's watching the stream that might be participating in the chat, just let me know if things are going out of sync. I'm kind of keeping the side of my eye open to what's going on the screen, and occasionally I see it buffering, but I'm not sure if that's throwing the whole game out of whack or not. So yeah, just let me know if it looks like it's starting to stutter, and I'll do my best to try and fix it. But it looks like it's probably running fairly smooth for the most part. It's pretty amazing. Have you used one before? I'm curious if Kuro has ever used the USB GD-ROM or something similar, like the GD EMU or something. I know that they played on PC from what I understand. Okay, come on. Go, 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 go away. I think I should probably be getting a level up fairly soon. There are two types to get. I got this one because it supports a 2 TB HD. Yeah, so like, oh nice, 107, happy day. If you're looking at getting something like this, the research I've done on it, the USB GD-ROM appears to be TP material. Well, we don't need that. It'll support a USB, or sorry, it'll support up to 2 terabytes of hard drive space at once, whereas the GD-EMU only supports, I think, up to 32 gigabytes of space off a SD card. Now, I think they might have improved that through firmware updates. Don't quote me on it. It might go up to 128 now, which is still pretty good. You can fit basically the whole North American catalog on, you know, 2 or 3 SD cards, which is pretty fantastic. But from what I understand, when it comes to you in the mail, it'll only support 32 gigabytes straight out of the gate unless you update it. So, all right, so it is a bit out of sync. All right, that's good to know. So I'm gonna have to correct something there, but I don't know if I can do it in this game. So what I might have to do is quickly relaunch. Okay, it looks like Kuro is AFK. So let's just go hunting for a little bit. I might have to quickly relaunch Elgato for a second. Okay, let me just do that just to refresh the stream. BRB. And we'll see you guys in a second. What I do is I'll just stop the stream and then immediately come back. So I'm just going to go to the black screen and then come back. Okay, so the stream has resumed. Hopefully that corrects any issues that were happening with it, but I guess we'll find out. You guys just let me know. I think the big problem is I need a new video card, and I was looking at a couple the other day, but I still want to do my research before I get one. Kuro, are you AFK? Let's just go take a quick run through here, and then we'll wait for Kuro to come back. 1, 2, 3. Alright, let's see if we can take some of these guys out on our own. Probably could, because we still have that tech really beefing up our attack. And that said, the tech is now gone. Okay, boom, boom, boom. Let's take out those lilies because they are a pain in the ass. Let's just drop a damage trap. Hopefully that'll take them out. And we're dead as well. Do we have escape doll? Please say we do. And we do. Awesome. Sweet. Okay. Come on, come on. Let's just launch a confuse trap to say we did. And at least that'll buy us a little bit of time. Whoa, that's actually not a bad sword. Oh, wait, that belongs to my partner. Don't steal it. Okay, cool. I'm glad to know it's working now. So, yeah, it must have been an issue with the must have been an issue with some of the things that were going on in the background processes here at home, and then just kind of what was rendering and stuff like that and uploading to YouTube. So okay, did I get that mono grinder? I can probably actually use it, but if my partner here needs it, that's just as good. Okay, so let's go to start, item. Oh, I got it. Sweet. Alright, let's follow Kuro. Let's get down here before they all get tagged without me. And I'm hitting for 0 again. I wonder what's going on. Oh man, those lilies, they are a pain in the ass, especially in Ultimate, because they have that one hit kill attack, which drives me nuts. Now the hope is that we're in the caves. Generally the mines are pretty good for finding different kind of mags, and I don't necessarily need another mag right now, but generally when you find them kicking around, it's pretty cool. Because you just never know what you're going to get, right? So in other Dreamcast related news, two things. So I'll talk about the first thing first, just because it's a little bit more on the positive side. There is a brand new book that is on Kickstarter, which I have supported. And I think if you're a fan of the Dreamcast, it might be something you might be interested in as well. So it's called the Dreamcast Collected Works, and it is, am I supposed to be on one as well? No, I guess not. And it is a hardcover book filled with illustrations, technical drawings, screen caps, history of the Dreamcast, and it's by the same guys that did the Mega Drive Collective Works, and it looks gorgeous. I don't know what else to say. It's not terribly expensive. It's not cheap by any means. It's I think if you got in early, which I didn't, I really should have. It was only £25 for the early bird backer, and then it's £35 now. And what you get is you get the book, you get to be put in the acknowledgements, and what else do you get? And you also get, it doesn't include shipping. Shipping's another £10. So that works out to like what? I think 60 or 70 Canadian dollars, something like that. Anyways, looks gorgeous. So yeah, I had to, oh, Ogre Power. I don't think I need that particular one, but maybe somebody else I run into can. I supported it. I have a little while to decide if I want to discontinue my support, but from what I understand, I didn't get the Mega Drive book because I'm not a Mega Drive fan, but from what I understand, it's a pretty beautiful little book, and if they can do the same for what they did for the Mega Drive book with the Dreamcast, I'm all on it. So if you go to the Kickstarter page, just Google Dreamcast Collected Works, and it should come up pretty quickly. They have a little video just showing what they're trying to accomplish with it, and they show you some screenshots and all that kind of stuff of what the actual book is going to look like. And yeah, it looks fantastic. If you're a person that is really into the Dreamcast, just in general, you'll probably want a copy of this book. I don't know if they end up doing second prints. I think they did a second print of the Mega Drive book. Don't quote me on it. But, you know, if second prints typically cost a little bit more than the first runs, only because the first runs, I think they're just trying to get them out there in the world, so they try to make them not as cheap as possible, but give people a bit of a break and a bit of a reward for having faith in the project. So, you know, I don't really have to explain to you what Kickstarter is all about. You guys get it. But anyways, if you got the cash, if you're a fan, this might be something you want to look into. Unfortunately, all the early birds are done, and I'm surprised actually. There is, I think, 35 early birds for 25, 75 early birds for 30, and all of those are gone. And I believe there was 150 early birds for a signed copy from the guy who made Sonic the Hedgehog, the creator of Sonic the Hedgehog, which is a pretty fantastic little bonus. And I think that's all sold out as well. Whether or not they'll include additional tiers as the project goes on, it's about half supported right now, so it's not quite there yet. But you know, there's no reason to believe it won't follow through, only because the Mega Drive book was so successful. But yeah, it looks pretty beautiful. I'm kind of excited. Now, I didn't look at when the delivery date was, so I might not see it till next year, but regardless, it looks pretty nice. And it's always kind of nice to get these things before they become a little bit too popular, because, you know, if you're interested after the fact and you want to get a copy, and let's say they haven't done a second run, or you're not quite sure if they're going to do a second run, that can end up costing you quite a bit on the third-party market. You know, I've been subject to it. I'm also guilty of perpetuating it as well. So, you know, you take some, you lose some. The other thing that's been going down is, like, I'm a pretty big fan of the Dreamcast Junkyard Facebook group, and a pretty big fan of the Dreamcast Junkyard website. They have a lot of really good information, and their podcast is fantastic. If you haven't checked it out before, I highly suggest it. It's not always Dreamcast related, but the majority of it is, and they're just a bunch of nice guys, and they like to talk about Dreamcast and gaming in general. But recently the site's been getting trolled quite a bit, as well as the Facebook group, and you know, it's kind of unfortunate, because it was a pretty, or it is rather, a pretty solid little community of people that are fans of the system. And you know, some people are way more into the collecting scene than others. I think I'm probably, like, you know, mid or lower tier. I've got quite a few games and peripherals and stuff like that, and some of the heavy hitters. But you know, all those guys that have, you know, complete Japanese collections and PAL UK collections and complete NTSCU collections, and there is quite a few of them. Obviously those guys are the more serious collectors. So that being said, the site's been trolled a lot recently by people, you know, just kind of giving people like Tom crap for no reason. Tom's one of the guys that run it, and giving Ross crap for no reason. Just sort of picking away at their journalistic skills, which I think are fantastic. He's managed to do some fantastic interviews. Like, how else? Who else would be such a fan of the Dreamcast that would have tracked down the barber, that sort of random French comedian who did like a one-off Dreamcast ad where he was shaving people's heads, and do an interview. Now, neither one of them could speak French, yet they had a translator to come in and do the interview and stuff like that and help them out with it. Fantastic group of guys that really put a lot of effort into their editorial works. And yeah, unfortunately the site's been being trolled quite a bit recently, and that trolling has, I think, really put a damper on the interest of those guys to continue their work, unfortunately. We haven't seen a new podcast in... The last podcast I think we saw was, what, 2 months ago, a month and a half ago? And before that, it was another month and a half or so. I know that there were some other things going on in the background, not between the people involved in the podcast, but they had some personal things going on, which is fine. You know, we're all human. But, you know, I think now it's not even about that. I think it's about the fact that they're getting a lot more negative comments than positive comments about their work, and it's completely unfounded. Like, nobody else is doing the work that they're doing. There's no reason that people should be giving them as much grief as they are. And you know, no matter what you do, like I got a couple of trolls here and there. You just gotta roll with it, you know, not take it personally. It is what it is. Those people are going to be out there in the world. But anyways, it seems to have made a few people that were involved in the podcast and the Facebook group and the website, you know, they ended up, I don't know if it's completely deleted, but at least deactivating their Facebook accounts and maybe not participating in the main page as much. I don't know, it's just kind of disappointing. Like, they do a lot of good work. I really enjoy the articles, and really personable people as well. Have no problem chit-chatting with you, and definitely, even though they're all big fans and some of them have more things than others, don't seem to be don't seem to have like a hierarchy in terms of if they'll associate with you or not based on the quality and the size of your collection, which is kind of nice, because some people are pretty, like, I think in the Nintendo scene in particular, pretty brutal with that. So I don't know, if you're a fan of the site, if you're a fan of the Facebook group, maybe just send them some good vibes. I think they can all appreciate it. They do a lot of work, and they also they aren't getting paid really for this. They get some advertisement money, but beyond that, it's all kind of just out of their love and appreciation for the system. So, you know, I really want them to continue doing what they're doing, because they come up with some amazing things. Like, I would have never known about the Naomi system, which is the arcade system for Dreamcast, if it wasn't for that website. Okay. Good job launching a trap. Ooh, voice is getting a little bit froggy. Alright. I think at this rate we might even... Let's see what our XP is looking like. Oh geez. We may get another level up if we keep at it. What's this? Special sword, don't need it. Don't need it, don't need it, don't need it. Cool. Can on use it. Ah, okay. Well, I might as well hold on to it for now. I know I don't use any melee weapons, so... Okay. Okay, how do I... One second, I'm going to have to disable Norton, because it kind of keeps wanting to do background tasks. And that is going to cause all sorts of problems. So sorry guys, give me 1 second. Just have to make OBS the priority right now. So that way Norton doesn't decide to do its thing. OBS, set priority, high. Perfect. Alright, so let me know if... Where am I going? Item. Area map. Where did everybody go? What did I miss? Okay, gotta go through there. Yeah, let me know if it's starting to chop in and out again, because it might have gone out of sync again, unfortunately. Alright, sweet. Where did everybody go? Item, pack, area map. Alright. This way. And melee weapons, protect frames, dimate. Nothing that we can really use at the moment. Item, mag. And there we go. Gotta remember to feed our mag. Oh my goodness, we just let that poor little thing starve all the time. Alright, so where do we go from here? Oh my goodness, okay. I'm not sure what tech that Kuro is putting on me, but it really... I mean, it's great, don't get me wrong, but it really gives me the impression that my character is much stronger than it actually is. Okay, is that where Kuro went? Okay, there they are. Gonna restock bombas real quick. Bombs, rather, not bombas. Waiting for a ring. I'm not 100% sure what that means. Waiting for a ring. Alright. Is this the last guy in this room? I hope so. Anything there that we can use? Now that little pillar is what we want to activate if we're playing the main game offline. Alright, where did they go now? Probably over here, I would assume. Nope, this is our friend Vaughn. Nope, Kuro's in here as well. Bang, bang, bang. Took him out. Take out these stupid dragons. And we're gone. Okay. So I think what we're planning on doing is just doing the mines run, and since it's not in quest mode, we'll probably just end up fighting Dell, kind of doing their thing, and hopefully we get some cool bonuses. You know, it'd be nice to find, like, I think it's good. You got to beat falls in order to get some of the cooler items in the game, but I've never seen any really rare drops as of yet. I've seen a couple of, like, well, I've seen a couple of rare drops, but no sort of really ultra rare drops, which I want to see someday. Alright, let's take these guys out. Like I've never even seen an S rank weapon until Kuro helped me out, so all these new things that I keep discovering about this game, which is what keeps me interested. Oh wow, look at that little rainbow. So in other Dreamcast related news, there is this person that seems to be, and speaking of trolls, trolling eBay. Now I fell for, I can't say scam, like unless if they used, I don't know, part of me thinks that maybe the idea was like get me to buy an item so they have access to my personal information or something to that effect, but it's so hard to tell. But somebody had to buy it now for, I believe it was $18 shipped, and what it was UK Dreamcast with controller. And I was like, I don't know, I'll take the chance because eBay's got 100% buyer protection. So I bought it. I didn't expect it to come, and sure enough, it didn't come. Now the person didn't have good feedback, didn't have good anything really, but I was like, I'll take the chance. And ultimately, after I waited, well over a month, nothing arrived. Emailed them, they didn't get back to me. And then in the end, I filed a claim and got my money back. But I've also seen this person posting the same, now it has to be the same person under a different account, posting the same auction, or buy it now I should say. And I'm not sure, like there's got to be a reason they're doing this. Like maybe it's because when you buy it, you get access to the person's PayPal information and they can grab your name and address and do some sort of ID fraud or something. I don't know, but it really got me thinking about some of these little phishing scams to some degree. And on a few of my Facebook groups that I participate in, like Dreamcast Hub, a couple of other people have seen the same thing turn up and they've purchased it, and none of them, like including myself, have received anything as of yet. So I don't know, there has to be something going on there. You want me to stay on it? Oh, I think they already activated. I just missed it. Okay, don't have to worry. Cool. So yeah, if you see somebody trying to sell a UK Dreamcast for 18 bucks shipped, I think it was coming from China, just be very wary. There's something going on there. And something similar happened to me the other day too, where somebody was selling sealed box sets of the Tales from the Crypt collection. And I actually got an email from eBay saying that they closed that customer's account because of whatever. Anyways, I suspect they closed it for multiple reasons. It was $18 shipped, which would be more than the shipping cost on most of this. They're essentially selling it for free. But again, I figured, okay, I'll order it, and then if it doesn't arrive, I'll just file a claim, which is all well and good. But then it got me thinking, like, what are they doing with that information? Do they have my name, my address? They don't have access to anything beyond that, but there must be some reason that they want to have that access and they're willing to take the loss through eBay for whatever reason. And I missed it. Damn. Next time. Unfortunately, there's been a lot of really cool auctions happening in Japan recently. I just started looking at actually Yahoo Auctions, which they use, I think, what's it called? BidMe? I can't remember the English translation for it. Site for Yahoo Auctions, which is all Japanese stuff, and they have a lot of really cheap games. The only downside is shipping is a fucking monster to get both back over to Canada. So even though you might be winning a game and you get a game for $1, sometimes they want to charge you 40 bucks for shipping, which, you know, just completely defeats the purpose of getting a cheap game at that point. And I realize shipping is expensive and you can't really get around it, but still, it seems a bit much to go overseas. Anyways, I went and bid on a few and didn't really go anywhere. The price got to the point where if you combined it with shipping, I can get the same thing on eBay. But I don't know, they have some pretty rare stuff, especially if you're into Japanese releases on Yahoo Auctions. And I always heard about it, I just never really explored it. And it runs pretty similar to eBay, just in the sense of like you can use PayPal and stuff like that directly to pay for your stuff, which makes it nice and easy. There's like one-click paying, so there's not a lot of fuss. And they have quite a bit of selection there too. And the auctions last anywhere from like, you know, a week to a day or two. Cool, Vaughn's up. Congrats. So yeah, I was bidding on a couple of sealed items recently, and I didn't really pay attention to them too much, but they sold for pennies. Then I was looking at the shipping. I was like, you know, you can get a sealed Japanese Dreamcast controller for, you know, like $2.50 Canadian, but then they want to charge you $50 to ship it overseas. It's not worth it at that point, unfortunately. So I don't know, I guess maybe if you've got some sort of setup where you've got a contact in Japan that you can mail it to and get it mailed there for cheap and then maybe ship it freight back overseas, I guess that's one way of doing it. But I think for the majority of us, we don't have that option, unfortunately. Okay, Caves 3. Alright. Let's see what we can find. I think we got some materials in there we can use too, didn't we? We got a... Okay, cool. Luck material is always good, improves our accuracy. Okay, what happened there? I'm stuck. So the one thing I'm on the hunt for right now is I really want to complete my Dreamcast magazine collection. So I'm missing issues 1 and I'm missing issues 0. Now you don't see 0 turn up too often, but 1 occasionally shows up, and I really hope one day to get that, because I have issues, I have the rest of the issues, but just missing that issue 1 with Sonic on the cover, and issue 0, which sometimes goes for ridiculous prices. But I'm just hoping it'll turn up in an open auction one day, and maybe it doesn't go anywhere north of $30 and I get lucky. But this day and age, you never know. The trick is, if you can find them, getting them in conjunction with the Dreamcast generator demo discs. Those typically are sold separate, and sometimes you can find somebody that does a lot of them, and they sell for fairly cheap. So again, it's just kind of keeping your eyes open, and those discs are virtually useless, but they do complete the Dreamcast magazine kits if you're a completist like that, and you know, they're kind of fun in their own right. Okay, can we read this at all? What does it say? No, nothing. Alright, let's just follow Kuro instead of getting too lost. Alright. Bang, bang, bang. And let's find out how far away we are from a level up. We're getting there, guys. We are getting there. If we play our cards right, there's a good chance we can make it level 108. It's a little steep. But you never know. Let's just keep trying. So in addition to Dreamcast Junkyard podcast, I started listening to that new Pat Contry podcast, Not So Common. Now he's the guy that does the what's it called there? The CU podcast. which I still really enjoy. It's a lot of fun to listen to. Comes in on every 2 weeks or so. You guys have a lot of energy. Generally do it for 2 hours or so. It's a good 2 hours. They talk about modern stuff. Sometimes I feel like they complain a bit too much about people, but it's a minor grievance. So anyways, it's Not So Common podcast. They typically interview other YouTube personalities or gaming personalities, and they interviewed Adam Korlick, who big Dreamcast enthusiast. You've probably seen some of his videos online, but I was unaware with, you know, in the interview of how many other channels the guy is involved with. And I don't know, kind of impressed with his ability to produce material, because it appears as though that guy is working non-stop. Now, I haven't watched any of his other channels because I really have no interest in any of the other subject matter, but just the amount of work that particular person is putting into all of their channels, it's like, that's how you survive on YouTube, you know? You just got to keep putting out content. Like, my intent with this particular channel was never really to quit my day job or anything like that. Just kind of have fun and chit chat with a couple of cool people here and there. But yeah, it was never really like, okay, you're gonna retire and become the next guy on YouTube. I think those days are done. Quite frankly, I don't have the personality or fortitude, I believe, to do much more than I'm doing now, which is fine. That said, yeah, it appeared like the guy had his hands on a whole bunch of different pots, and his collection, if you haven't seen that collection video, is quite impressive. But again, guy started early, which is always the most important part. Oh, I think this Lily is going to drop something special. What are they dropping? Anything? No, Kuroheim is dropping something. Okay, it appears as though that Lily didn't drop anything particularly useful unless Vaughn picked it up. Oh, actually, you know what? Let's try and do that. Let's switch our weapon. Nice. Oh, what did they find? Special weapon. What is it? Excuse me. Okay, stream is lagging. Thank you for the heads up. I'm just going to pause this real quick. BRB. And quickly reset the stream. Sorry about that. I think Norton is trying to do something in the background that's really kind of killing everything. So let me just stop it quickly and we'll jump back. Alright guys, sorry about that. Hopefully that fixed what was going on. I'm not 100% sure what was going on actually. Area map, where did everybody go? Are they up here somewhere? Yes they are. Okay, cool. I went the wrong way. Hopefully that resolved it. I guess we'll find out shortly. And hopefully, I think what it's going on is I've got Norton antivirus, and it's running some sort of optimization in the background. It's really pissing me off. It's really sucking up a lot of resources. Okay, let's use that, and looks like we won't get around to the Heaven Punisher today, but that's okay. Yeah, so I have to apologize. Hopefully when this renders properly, it'll correct itself. Okay, Delaray. Alright. Did we jump in time? No, we didn't. Damn. Okay, well, we'll do it this time then. Well, at least they did something. Did we kill it already? Holy smokes. No, we didn't. Just fell back, that's all. Here we go. Oh, no, 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 no. Get out of here. Get out of here. Where is that Kuro? Oh, that's Kuro. Okay, don't worry about it then. We're fine. Alright. Boom, boom, boom. Take care of those guys. And where do we go? Fortunately, we haven't died at all this round, which is kind of unheard of for me. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Did we take him out? Did we take him out? We did. Alright, sweet. Awesome. Okay, cool. Well, we beat that guy, got some decent XP, and we'll take some Meseta. Why not? And are we going to get any goodies? Probably not. Cool. Back to Pioneer. Alright, well, since the stream seems to be having problems because of good old Norton in the background, sucking up all my bandwidth, I think after this, I'm probably going to have to jet. So let's go and find out what kind of weapon we have. Now, according to Kuroheim, there's no real percentage on it that is of any value, but let's just check what it's all about. Okay, let me try. Oh, wow. Interesting. Cool. No, we're not going to equip it, but we certainly are going to use our photon points to beef it up at some point. Okay, do we have anything here that we don't need? Sell. This we can do without. We're going to use our mono grinder, and we're going to deposit some of this other stuff. Just now? The fact I the fact I have fans blows my mind. That's awesome. That's really cool. All right, let's deposit some of this stuff. Items. Okay, so let's get rid of this guy. Get rid of this guy. Get rid of this guy. And I think we're good. Okay, so hold on to those for now. You are the rock star of PSO, Kuro. Alright, I got a jet because the stream's starting to get finicky and it is getting laid out. Good game. I got a jet for the night. Work in the AM. Sorry. Goddess. I stand corrected. Yeah, let's take Vaughn's guild card. Night. Oh. Alright, cool. Well, that was a good game. Glad I ran into Kuro. Glad we had Vaughn play in because it's good to have some new players jump in. We can help them out, give them some cool stuff. I do have some stuff in the bank, so Vaughn, if you're still watching, I'll give you that at another time. But right now we're just going to save our character. Character data saved. Perfect. And let's quit our game. Okay. So, here we are. All right, that was a lot of fun. Yeah, if you guys can look this thing up, I suggest seeing if you can find if you like Game Boy, if you like Game Boy Color, if you like if you have maybe wanted to experiment in the Japanese Game Boy catalog, didn't feel the need to buy a Japanese Game Boy, I highly suggest this. It's a really good product, especially for the price. You can find it in a lot of different places. I know the ones on eBay definitely don't have the games because those will get pulled in an instant, but AliExpress has them. I think they still have a few more. Now, some of the sellers won't ship to certain countries. I know I had a hard time finding somebody that would ship to Canada, but if you can find one that ships to your country and you want to have a really decent third-party system, I can't praise it highly enough. Now, is it going to break down on me eventually? I mean, my original Game Boys, they're they're almost 30 years old and they're still kicking around. I don't know, but in the interim, this seems to be working very well. And believe me, I'll let you know if this thing breaks down on me. So you never know. Anyways, thanks so much for watching, everybody. I really appreciate it. Sorry for some of the technical difficulties. It appears as though the stream was cutting out in points. Again, I think it has to do with some background processes that I wasn't able to disable in the moment. But you know, hopefully we'll have that corrected for next time. I'm going to try and make sure that the system is just purely focused on OBS and nothing else. But it's just one of those things. Problems never stop. Anyways, take care, everybody. Again, thank you so much for watching. Thanks for all the support, and I will talk to you soon.